Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I want to talk to you about something that I, as a MGTOW, have been struggling with for a long time. And I think I've got a little bit of insight here. Men are struggling. The situation facing good, decent, honest men in our society, in our culture, trying to get a job. It's not right. It's unfair. But it's hard to put your finger exactly on the problem. Generally, a particular type of man, a stronger, more self reliant type of man, is shunned and ostracized from our society, from our culture, from our groups, from our workplace environments. The attitudes, the virtues, the idea of self-reliance that a strong man holds on to, punctuality, conscientiousness, all good qualities, male virtue, strength, perseverance, tenacity. All of these qualities are shunned and looked down upon. So the individual man who demonstrates these qualities and thinks of them as marketable qualities, and indeed they are in a fair world, in an unfair world, are shunned and shamed and ostracized and canceled and censored for simply having a decent, strong, good man's attitude. So the men, they're not aware of this. They're not holding on to this idea. It's a horrible idea, to hold on to, and yet it's actually true. Look at the nature of the world. Look at the nature of group dynamics, of identity politics, of marketing to consumers. It reduces the human being down to a product, a statistic, a demographic. Now, within this system, this demographic group, which is us people, human beings, the dominating and controlling virtues are not these qualities that the strong, decent, good man possesses. They are group dynamics. They are going along with the group. In other words, it's not so important what you do, but it's really important how you do it. And the standard is not a masculine standard anymore. It's a feminine standard. In other words, don't really care how well you do your job. The question becomes, are you nice to the people around you? Do they like you? But understand that the people that you're trying to appease are not strong and virtuous people. As a matter of fact, for the most part, they play the victim, which is something that a strong man doesn't do. They feel sorry for themselves. They feel that the world owes them something. They have judged the world to be morally unfit, and therefore they're going to tear this system down and change it. Now, who am I talking about here? I'm essentially talking about women. They're saying, that the system is unfair, patriarchal. I'm also talking about dependents and minorities. They're very angry. They're very upset. They feel that the world is very unjust, and therefore the dominating, controlling factors of this world are to be shunned. In other words, it's not the individual man that the system is shutting down and ostracizing and canceling. It's all of them. It's anybody who has that attitude. So if you're in a group, and I'm going to assume that a woman is in charge, and they say, how are you doing? And you say, I'm doing okay. I'm struggling. It's very frustrating trying to find decent work, trying to stay healthy, trying to, be good to the people around me. But otherwise, I'm okay. They have no compassion for that. They have no sympathy for that. They have no regard for that. There's nothing there. But if the person says, this system is unfair, it cheated me, it owes me a living, I'm hungry, I'm in pain, I'm suffering, please help me. Well, everything else has to shut down, doesn't it? Everything has to be geared towards helping that person. Now, the way I'm talking, I'm, sounding like this is just one individual out of a group of 10, but it's not. It's 8 individuals out of a group of 10. So if you're called into a meeting as a man and there's a problem and you try to solve that problem, you've just created a problem for all those other people because they are not there to solve that problem. They're there to talk about their problems. I attend group counseling, right? Group therapy sessions. And do you know what the facilitators of the group do? They talk about their problems. They actually, an hour-long session, they're taking up 20, 30 minutes of it, talking about their problems. And I think what they think they're doing is that by having these personal revelations that they share with the group, right? That's the most important thing, sharing with the group. They think that they're leading and showing other people how to do it. Unfortunately, what they're showing them how to do is to complain and to blame and to find somebody to scapegoat on. And you know that the scapegoating is being done to the strong men who represent this patriarchal, past. Now, from my point of view, and I've spoken about this before, men are functional. Okay, this is a response to the needs and problems of the world and the environment that we are in. We overcome problems. We don't care too much about people's feelings, don't care too much about anything other than getting the job done. This is an incredible, wonderful, masculine quality. And it's not just reserved for men, of course, but generally that's where it's coming from. So what I'm saying is that we live in a society that is rejecting these principles, these virtues, these ideals based on who the ideas are coming from. Not the virtue, not the merit, not the worthiness of the idea itself, but merely who has the idea and who possesses the idea. So I'm saying that when the good man is in the group who's trying to be responsible and fulfill his biological function as a man, leader, protector, provider, fearless, risk-taking, all the advantages of adopting, this type of behavior, because the men are adopting it, it's shunned, it's called toxic, it's condemned. So it's not you personally. You're not doing anything wrong. You're in a system that rewards people for doing what's wrong. And you can use this to explain a lot of the behavior that, you're going to encounter. People intentionally coming in late to meetings and getting offended if you act, if you're like, hey, you're being disrespectful to the other 10 people that are here on time. They act entitled. They act offended. They act upset. Do you know what they act like? They act like women. Okay, so, these are men, these are young men who have a certain attitude. And it's a female attitude. And you can't even be like, wow, that's really surprising. I can't believe that happened. No, the young people adopt the behavior of the people around them. So if the people around them condemn society, condemn culture, condemn freedom, condemn a free market, they condemn everything because they don't get what they want. They want something, they don't have it, they condemn the system. They don't change their behavior. They don't adopt new behavior and habits. They don't learn new skills. They find fault with the system. And you, my friend, as a strong, healthy man, you are the avatar. You represent that system. This is why my avatar is this one-dimensional cartoon superhero. Okay, because that single quality of man has been condemned, has been shunned, has been ostracized, has been called toxic. And yet it is the very quality that built our world and keeps our world alive and secures our prosperity into the future. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you. It's not you personally as an individual man, right? It gets even deeper than this because the methods of attack, the condemning of the men as toxic, it's not even against the men. It's women fighting against other women to discourage them from establishing a normal human life. So that's what's going on. That's why your good qualities are not seen as good qualities, but are actually an excuse for the group and the crowd to shun you, to ostracize and condemn you. So these feelings of frustration, anger, desperation, it's not because you did anything wrong as a man. It's because the society and the culture you live in condemn these virtues because the majority of people do not possess these virtues. These virtues are hard. They are difficult to acquire. To be governed by reason, well, that means you've got to give everything a fair chance for the most part, largely, right? People don't want to do that. To be governed by reason means you have to consider all the angles. What's going on here? Independent of who says it, what you get out of it, how you feel about it. No, you need to analyze the situation. So this quality, which I would prize in a programmer or an analyst, is condemned by the majority of society. Well, you don't even have a heart. And it's like, well, no, my heart in this particular situation is not useful to me. It's actually holding me back. Right? It's a hard job. Nobody wants to do it. It's got to get done. I'm willing to do it, but I do want at least the acknowledgement that I am doing this difficult job. Right? So for you, that's normal. That's healthy. That's the way it should be, but it isn't working that way anymore. Okay, you get what I'm trying to say. with that said, help me out here at the Howard Dare channel if you can, right? Now, if you can't, if you're broke like most of us, you hold on to your money. But if you're doing okay now, please find my Cash App donation link, click on it, and do what you can for the Howard Dare channel so that I can continue to reach out with this positive message for men. I'm going to leave it at that. Let me know what you think about this in the comments section below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Do that if you can't donate, okay? But if you can, donate to the Howard Dare channel. There's no commercials here. There's no supporting, this feminized gynocentric system. We've got a lot of things to talk about, okay? I need to talk to you about gyno-fascism, a new kind of fascism, right? The people calling the other people fascists, they themselves are, in fact, the fascists. But that's another video. So join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.